Good evening. We are live. Linda, my Michigander friend, good evening. And Donna, hi from North Carolina. I hope your weather down there is holding out for you. Lee, good evening from Indiana. Um, that's south of where we are. And somebody is looking for a little attention tonight. She knows when I start talking that things are going to happen. So she likes to get her little treat and then she'll leave me alone or behave anyway. Joyce, hi from Mesa, Arizona. Is it beautiful out there? Don't tell me. I don't want to know because it's cold here. We are going to have some very, very cold temperatures over the next few days and some snow. So it's a good time to stay in the house and quilt. That's the way I look at it. Hello, my friend Linda from New York. And Jean made it in from Mount Vernon, Washington. Boy, it seems like I just saw you girls today. Hi, Carolyn from a cold and rainy South Carolina. Marcia is here from Illinois. And Christine, Chris is in the house. Hey, Chris, how are things going down there? Hopefully, you got better weather than we do. Sandy is here from a sunny and warm Tampa, Florida. And Carla from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm getting to the point where I can almost tell where you guys are from without even knowing, without you typing it in. But keep typing it because I don't know if I really remember all of them. Linda from El Paso, Texas. Linda, I know you're from Texas. It's 66, but windy and blowing dust and sand. So Linda is staying inside. Don't blame you. And Beverly Creamer is here from a cold Wisconsin. I feel you, Bev. It's cold here too. Betty Court. Hello from Oregon. So nice to see you. Ronnie. Hello from northeastern Arizona. Ken gets a kick out of that when you come in. Charlene is here from Colorado. Mary and Mike are here from Buena Park, California. And Jean Hart from Pennsylvania. We really have a good cross section of the country today, don't we? Well, what I've got planned for you today is something that a couple people have been asking for. So I decided, okay, today's the day. All right. Hi, Ina. Good to see you. So today what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be doing ruler work on a piece to block. And for those of you who are in my Tuesday class, you probably recognize the blocks that are up there. So let's go ahead and go over and take a look at them. Okay, Tippy, that's enough. That's enough. So what I've got here, because tonight we are going to be working on the Artisan Curve Ovals. And oh, Jan, hi. Diane's here from Queensland. Welcome, Diane. Jan says the schools are already closing in Northeast and Southwest Iowa. She said it's been pretty bad out there today. Okay. Oh, Linda, that's okay that you're not in the class. It's okay. I just know that some people are going to recognize this. And if you guys have noticed, the first quarter of this year is so steady. We have been actually focusing on the log cabin. So this is actually 4 log cabin blocks at 6.5 each put together. And what I have chosen to quilt them with are the Artisan Curve Oval Templates. And these are very similar to the other Artisan Curve templates. We got 60, 61, 62. Oh, that's out of order. 63 and 64, 65 and 66. So we have 6 templates in the oval family. Okay, we are going to use almost all of them today. And this is a picture of what it's going to look like. Well, it's actually hopefully going to look better than the picture, okay? Lots of erasing and putting stuff back on, but I do have my numbers on there so I know where I'm going. Pam, hi from Maine, and Lisa's here from Sugar Land, Texas. So good to have you both with us. So what we're going to do, as you can see, I've already kind of started on this. And the reason I started on this center portion of this design is because it's somewhat fiddly, if that's a real word. I'm not sure it is, but it does take a little bit of time. So I thought having this half done would make it a lot easier for us. So what I'm looking at here is I have taken the number 62 template. The 62 template is an oval and it's 1 inch wide and 2 inches long. And here it is. So stitched out, it's 1 inch wide and 2 inches long. We have markings that are absolutely fabulous. We have our vertical center marking and our horizontal center marking. And we can make this template go anywhere from 5 inches all the way up to 18 inches. So versatile, very, very versatile. And let me show you what we're going to do. The first one we're going to do on here is 5 inches, but we're only going to do half of it. So let me show you what I mean by that. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to add oval number 60, which is 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch. Yes, it's that small. It's 1/4 inch wide and 1/2 inch tall. And then we're going to encase that in Artisan Curves 61, which is a 1/2 inch by 1 inch oval. And for those of you who did Starry Nights, we're going to use the same basic idea that we did with Starry Nights when we went ahead and stitched up, put our motifs on, and stitched back down. We're going to do the same basic idea. All right, I'm going to be watching too. I'm not really sure what happened to Ken. He's not here tonight. So I'm just trying to manage the best I can. We're going to back up here. Knapp, hello from Central Florida. And Jean Hart is here. She's back from Erie, PA. Janice, hi, Janice. And I do have a faux bobbin. Joyce. I see cartoon character eyeballs. Okay, that's perfect. I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Joyce. Ruth Ellen is here from a very snowy Northern Virginia, and it is their second snowstorm of the evening. In case you don't know, Northern Virginia doesn't usually get much snow. So for you guys out there in Northern Virginia, stay safe, okay? Oh, Rita's here from Northern Victoria, Australia. Welcome, Rita. Good to see you. Okay, question. Which marker do I use to make those dark crosshair lines? That's easy. I use the friction erasable fine liner. I have used the pens in the past. I like the fine liner better. The reason I like the fine liner better is you don't have to push as hard on it. It gives you a nice fine line. It's dark enough that you can see it. And on this particular piece, I actually had to draw the lines out away from my center because I have a light color in here and a dark color out here. So I switched it off and used my chalk liner with the incredible pounce powder in it. It's all going to iron off when we're done. Actually has been ironed off a couple times because I had a little bit of a problem when I first started tonight to get these ready for us. The thing that I do like to do is I'll go ahead and put some best press on here before I put my markings on. Now, in preparation for tonight's design, we want 16 reference lines. We're going to do 16. Number 1 is facing me right now. What we are going to do on all of the even numbered lines is we're going to make a mark 1¼ inches out from the center. So with this being my center, it's going to be, as you can see, I've got those marked out right here. The other thing that's important is to make sure you do get that tack in the center. For those of us who like to use pieced blocks, and especially for this particular project, we have the center has 4 different seam allowances coming, or 2 different seam allowances, 4 blocks coming together. What we did with them is we went ahead and did that turn so that this is really actually quite flat. And then I take a steam iron, get it nice and steamy, press it with a tailor's clapper, and I have good flat seams all the way through this. I haven't had any problems getting over those seams. When you're working with a paste block, it's very much like painting a wall. We all know that what the final product is going to be when we paint a wall, how nicely it's going to come out, is dependent on how carefully we prepare before we apply the paint. And I truly believe that when we're quilting, the prep work also is very important. If we do proper prep work, like getting these seams really flat, we're not going to have any trouble at all gliding right over these seam allowances. And you're going to see me do that tonight. So I'm really excited that we can get there and do that. As I stated, this is reference line 1. I have got a mark 1¼ inches from the center on each of the even numbered reference lines. Okay, so I'm going to come back, see who else has come in. Monica from Illinois. Lee says, oh no, I hope Ken didn't get lost. Lee, I'm not really sure what happened to him. I assumed he was going to be here, but oh well. We'll just we'll manage. We'll manage. Joyce from Fairfield, California is so glad to see you back. It's so nice to have you here. So let's kind of go over this inside design. I know it's a little wacky, but I'm a little wacky, so it would follow, right? So what I did was I aligned my vertical center line on reference line number 1. Remember that 1¼ inch point I asked you to make coming from the center out? That's where we're going to start stitching. We're going to start on line number 16 and we're going to stop on line number 2. Even though we have 16 reference lines, almost every design that we're putting on here is going to have 8 rotations. Some of them are going to stagger others, and that is why I chose to put 16 reference lines on there. I wanted it to kind of fit together like a puzzle. So the first thing we're going to do is stitch from line number 16 to line number 2. Then we're going to change our templates and we're going to make this number 60, 60 template, which remember makes that little itty bitty 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch oval. Then we're going to take that off and we're going to do the number 61, which is 1/2 of an inch by an inch. Then we're going to put number 63 back on and come down and around to our next one. So let me show you just how that works, okay? Right now, if this was my number 1, I've started at 16 and stitched over to number 2. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to pull my bobbin up here. There we go. Now, one thing you may notice is when you're working on a piece block, you may want that foot up just a tad bit higher, but you don't want it up so high that you're going to be skipping stitches. And you know what? You're going to find that spot that works perfect for you. Go ahead and just make a little 4 patch. Try it out. Test it. You will get to know where everything needs to be. All righty. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take my number 60. That's my 1/4 by a 1/2 inch. And I am going to put it on number 3 1/2. And that's going to bring my foot exactly where I need to start. And when I put my tack on number 3 1/2, that does not mean that this area here is going to measure 3 1/2. It means this area here over to this area here is going to be 3 1/2. All right. So remember, we're only doing half of this. Now, with such a small template, and this is a tiny little template, I want to make sure that I'm lined up. I'm going to make small stitches here. Make my first one in place. And you can see I'm making really tiny stitches here. I want to get that thread out of the way. I don't need to hold it any longer. And we're going to stop. I'm making really tiny stitches because I want these ovals to look very smooth. And now I'm going to put template number 61 on, and I'm putting that one on the 4 1/2 inch. These inch markers go all the way up to 18, just like we saw before. All righty. Again, I'm going to take that first stitch in place. And off we go. Tiny little stitches. There we go. Now I got moving. And we're gonna, again, stop right on the bottom. And I love my thread guides. Although I think 2 of the ones we're using tonight actually still have gates on them. So now I'm going to put my number 63, and it's going to be on the hole for number 5. I am going to line up my vertical center right here on the odd numbered reference lines. Remember, the even number reference lines get a little uh, indication of where 1¼ inches from center is, and we're going to stitch around that odd numbered reference line. There we go. And around we're going to come, and we're going to stop when we hit that 1¼ inch mark. And now I'm going to take my little guy again. This is my smallest one. Place him at 3½ inches. I am going to keep things relatively straight around here. There we go. And perfect. It does not matter which way you go. I think what's important is keeping those stitches really small. I may say that more than once tonight. And if I do, it's because it's really that important. We're going to put number 61 on the 4½ inch hole. And you will see I am going over seam allowances, and it's not binding up. It's not giving me any problem at all. It's moving along very nicely. And we're going to put this guy back in on number 5. We're going to line him up. You know what? I want to move you guys just a little bit so you can see a little better. I wonder, there we go. Might be kind of good to look from this side angle just a little bit. So now I'm going to come down around this bottom and stop at that 1¼ inch. And it just makes kind of a little nice crossover there. Make sure your needle is down. Take number 62 off. We're going to put number 60 back on. You can do it in any order that you wish. If you want to put 61 on first, by all means, go for it. There we go. These little guys are so cute. You would think that they would be difficult to stitch, but they are not, as long as you take your time. Remember that you want these stitches to be really small. Take your time. It's a journey, not a race. And here you see, I'm going over those seam allowances right off of them, and it's not a problem at all. And there we go. Put that one back. We've got one more set to do. Put this number 62 on the 5-inch. And now we're going to come and meet up with our last 1¼ inch mark. And here we are. We are there. Now there is a small amount of breaking thread in this project. But after we get here and we start on the next round, I don't think we need to break thread anymore. So that's not too bad. There's our number 60. Remember, they go from smallest to largest. And here's number 61, that 1/2 inch by 1 inch. Line up that vertical line. Start out slow. Speed up a little bit. You will find the speed that works the best for you. I'm slow. Tell you straight out. That's just me. And I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. And that's probably why we never get done on time because I am slow. All right. So here's my thread from when I began. I'm going to go ahead and make an overhand knot in that, just like that. And I'm going to bury it. Easy to do. Go into that last hole that the thread came out of, or as close as possible. Now I have the same thread on the front and the back of this because I have a green back, and I think I just ran I did. I'm going to have to take this off. I just ran my thread all the way through there. That's why I put my finger there, because I could feel it. So if I wanted to have a different color on the front, such as maybe an ivory here, because I wanted not so much the stitching to show, I wanted more the design of the log cabins show, then what I would do is I would still keep the green on the back, because it will blend in the back much better than the ivory will. Plus, if I switch threads, then I know that I've got the right one on the back all the time. And we can go ahead and pull this thread to the back. Oh, and it's going to be a little bit on the orange side for me. Let's see what we can do here. I'm sure we can get it. There it is. And I'm just going to pull it back here, and then I will go ahead and I will bury it later. I just want it off of the top while we're working on the top. And you notice I'm not letting this tack stick out. One other thing I want you to notice, I did not mark my vertical and horizontal center. I didn't need to. My seam allowances are my vertical and horizontal center. Okay, let's take a look at where we are. All right. Alice has got a cold Colorado, 11 degrees. I'm so sorry, Alice. Stay inside and quilt. Kelly Parker's here from Arizona. Welcome, Kelly. Priscilla, hi from Oklahoma. Um, Susan is here. Do the arts. Okay, let's see. Do the Artisan Curve Oval Templates come in a set? You know what, Susan? That's a really good question. I will look, but I don't think so. I think they come individually. Artisan Curve Templates. Okay, we're gonna go to oval. Okay, let's take a look here. We can tell you in two shakes of a lamb's tail, depending on how fast the internet is. Oh, they do come individually. They do not come in a set. I'm sorry, Susan. So you do want to get them individually. Hi, Jean from Newfield, New York. Okay. Linda, how sweet of you to say that. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. I just have fun. I do erase a lot. I will tell you that. I really do. Oh, Gail's here from New Jersey. Hi, Gail and Evelyn, my friend from New Haven, Indiana. So good to see you, darling. So here we are. We've got the first round in here. Now I am going to continue using my number 62. And I am going to put that on number 62. I did not make a notation on where I put that. So guess what? I can look at how I stitched it out, and I stitched it out here. It goes on number 5. So now we're going to start this second round here. We'll go ahead and lay that template down. We're going to go ahead and pull that bobbin thread up. It's what we do, right? We want the back to be as pretty as the front when we are quilting. There we go. Be careful you don't rub your needle against the template. It will etch a line in there. Don't ask me how I know that. And if you do it too close to the line that's the center, it can get confusing. Now, one other thing I want this bears talking about is if we get a little too far one way or a little too far the other way, this is just like our clamshells. When we get to the top and if we need to make a little adjustment, we do that and nobody will be any the wiser. And it looks like I've got it right where I need it. Gonna hold those threads back for the first stitches, and around we're gonna go. I'm keeping my stitches short again, and I'm going to stitch from reference line to reference line. So this is going from odd numbered reference line to odd numbered reference line. Going to go ahead and turn myself around. Now you're going to see that I've got to do a little bit of fudging here to get where I need to be. I just needed to take one extra stitch. And I am right in seam allowances where they come together, but you'll notice it did not hold me up at all. You want to make sure that you've got those seams nice and flat, and everything is going to turn out perfectly. And around we're going to go. We're going to stop at the odd numbered reference line, and that just happens to be right in that little place where the two logs come together. And I'm going to need to take one stitch in. There we go. Now I'm perfectly lined up. I want to get my spacing gauge out, make sure I'm perfect over here, and I am. Awesome. You guys all know I'm not perfect all the time. So when I do get something perfect, I get excited about it. And here we go. And now we're going to stop right there. I'm going to leave my needle in, take my template off. We are going to bury this thread just because I want it out of the way. Normally, when I'm working with you guys, I am not burying my threads because they're just sample blocks. This is actually a project that I'm going to use. I'm making a set of table placemats, and these are for the holiday season, which has passed already, but I will have them for next year. So I do want to make sure that I bury my threads. So what we have done, make sure you guys get a good look at that. Hi, Maureen from Kansas. Julie's here from Alabama, where it's raining. And Milagros is here from New Jersey. Okay. Jan said there are two sets, but the ones I want are not in them. Oh, Suzanne, so nice to see you. So glad to have you here. Okay, so we have done this inside and we have done this layer here. So we will break thread yet again. And then from that point on, I do not believe we break thread at all anymore. So let's go ahead. I guess I don't mind breaking thread because I do it enough. Oh, goodness. Okay, and again, I'm going to pull that to the back. I do like to pull it to the back when I end it. Oh, maybe I'll pull it to the back. I'm not really sure where I've got all these threads right now. There we go. Now we're all in the back. I'll come back and take care of those guys. Oh, I guess we're not all in the back, are we? Okay. So it's this one right here. And I'm just going to turn the light on here. So I get a little better view of what I'm trying to pull up. And I think I got it this time. There it is. Awesome. Now we have it there. And I'll go and bury all of those later. Oh, kind of like that. You guys can see better. Okay. Hi, Ellen from Delaware. Priscilla. I believe, Priscilla, are you the one who sent me an email asking about doing these? I did answer that email, but haven't gotten a response from you yet, which is fine. No problem. But your email is the one that gave me the push, we'll call it, to go ahead and do a pieced block. And it is smooth and easy. It really is, Priscilla. What we want to do is we want to make sure our seams are flat as can be and make sure that our foot is maybe just a tad higher than we normally set it to get over these. But really, it is that easy. So our next round here on our little design is going to be the number 66. Now, what is that one? Is that one the, that one's not number 66 because this is number 66. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so what I did was I actually took it off of the pin and I joined these pieces. Let me show you what I did. Okay, you do not have to take the tack out. And what I did was I came from the peak of this rotation. I put that foot back down, put that needle back down, and I'm going to pull that template out. I want it to come down and meet up here. Now, we could, if you want, we could have it come from the top and meet here as well. The reason I did it this way was because I didn't want to take the pin out, okay? That's pretty lazy, isn't it? Okay. Um, Linda, enjoy your dinner, darling. You are quite welcome. These templates do work together well. Thank you, Linda. Joyce says, did you also use a fabric folding pen before pressing to make our seams extra flat? Actually, Joyce, no, I've never used one. I've heard about them, but I've never owned one. What I do is I use a tailor's clapper and a wool pressing mat. Those two things will definitely help to keep those seams flatter. Okay. Oh, Priscilla, never bother, never bother. She said that she didn't want to bother me again. Not a bother. I'm fine with that. Fine with it. And I want to hear what you guys would like to see because I want to make sure that you are getting the education you want. All right. So here we go. Let's go ahead and make the little guys. Whoops, I didn't have him set on that side, so I better do this one more time. Take my first stitch in place. And what you're going to notice is I am going just a little bit smaller on those stitches up to the point or the top of that oval. So here we go. And I'm really just also lining up my horizontal center here. And that pretty much almost gives me exactly the angle that I need. If any of them are off, it's because I probably got those first ovals just a little bit different on there. Take your time. And no, my foot is where it's supposed to be. I'm always so cognizant of my foot cutting loose on the 301. When you have your foot just a little bit higher, you're going to get better results if you slow your stitching down just a little bit, I have found. Whether that's scientific fact or just Kathy's way of stitching. Either way, I have noticed that it is better if I slow it down just a little bit. I'm still keeping those stitches really short, guys. And we're going to come out this way. Go ahead, line up, use my spacing gauge. Only got a couple more. What we are doing is we're meeting even line, even numbered reference line to even numbered reference line here. And oops, there we go. That could have been a disaster. There we are. And we only have a couple more of these. The reason that I did this is I wanted you to see that we can take these ovals out and use them any way we want. Just because it has those pins on doesn't mean we have to put the oval on in the same orientation of the pins. We can go ahead and make them different if we want. Just going to go ahead and bury this knot here. Just take a second. And now it's gone. You'll see, all gone. And trim those threads off. I'm sorry, that does take a little extra time. All right, here we go. But it's good that you see exactly how we do things from start to finish. So this is great that you guys can be seeing how we finish up a project. Because this is what we want you to be aware that you can do. You can finish your own projects. You can do them from start to finish. And what's awesome about that is it's going to be uniquely you. Okay, we're going to leave that on. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the gate and take this template off so you can see where we are at. So we've done an awful lot of work and we still got that little inside design going. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my number 66, which is the one that I happen to have out, and I'm going to put it on the tack. And well, I didn't mean to do that. And the first tack that I am going to put it on right here is number 7. I'm going to go ahead. Here's number 7. And I am going to make these from reference line to reference line, and I'm going to make them odd. We're going to go from the even number to the even number. So we're coming over the odd number reference lines on this. Guess who just showed up? You guys think we should yell at him or fire him? Just kidding. Um, Ruth Ellen, notice I've got ruler stickers on the other side. Am I going to use them somewhere else in this project? No, they're actually there from a previous project, Ruth Ellen. I just didn't take them off. I'm too lazy, I guess. I'm not sure. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to start. I've got my needle on reference line number 2. I have my vertical center on reference line number 3, and we are going to stitch from reference line number 2 to reference line number 4. Over those seam allowances, and it works beautifully, and ending up right here. And now we're going to come and we're going to twist our template and we're going to do it again. And what you're going to notice is I've got myself a little bit off here because of the distance. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how we're going to kind of smoosh this around, so to speak. I'm going ahead and putting my template against, and you'll see that it is not straight up and down, but that's all right. I'm going to come up to my highest point, and I'm going to stop with my needle down. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to twist my template back. I'm going to use my spacing gauge, and that's going to end up exactly where I want it. And nobody except you all and myself are going to know that we had to alter um, that oval. And that's only part of an oval. It's not a complete oval. We've only done part of it. And you'll see that it's a little off here too. If it's off on every one, it really doesn't matter because now we know how we can alter it to make it work. So coming up to the reference line, stopping with my needle down, going to realign my template, use my spacing gauge, and come over this way. And we're going to stop here. all the way around we're going to do this. Well, I just pulled my template off. Again, just a little bit off, but that's okay. Up to the top. Stop with the needle down, twist that template around, and let's bring her home. And we're right back on that top edge. Now, I could keep going around. We don't have time to continue going around and round and round, finish this design. But I do want to show you this part of the design because I think this part of the design is important. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to move our template up to the 7.5 point. Now we're just going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to come back, and what you're going to notice is you see our spacing gauge here, it's going to be too big. Not a problem. We're going to come back and we're going to stop at that highest point again. Right up here. Stop with that, put that needle down, take our spacing gauge, and we're going to just twist it around so that we get that 1/4 inch perfect. And here we go. Perfect. Go ahead and we're going to turn ourselves. Again, we're off just a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my template so that I have my foot touching here. And remember, we're going to alter it when we get up to the top. What's wrong, Ken? I didn't know your password. The pin is telling you have to, the computer's telling you you've got to put a new pin in or something. I don't know. Ken's computer was giving me fits earlier, and now it's giving him fits. That's never a good thing. Okay, we're going to go ahead. I made my little alteration there. And we're going to do 2 more of these. And you'll see I'm coming right back to that same spot each time, which is exactly where we want to be. And I just came off the pin, no worries. And here we go. What did I do? Put it back on the wrong pin. No worries. There we go. I'm going to put it on the correct pin this time. There we go. Got it right this time. Up at the top, we're going to make sure we're lined up and we're a 1/4 inch from where we want to end. And there we are. Lee said, Ken, that she hoped you hadn't gotten lost.
Well, I gotta go down and get my codes. By the time I do that, it'll be done.
Right. His computer is being a little belligerent today, kind of like kids, eh? Okay, gonna make a little adjustment there and gonna come back. And we're going to do this one more time. This time, though, what we're going to do is we're going to stop at this top, right here on this corner. We're going to stop at the 4 corners. I'm going to go ahead and put my pin on number 8 this time. We're going to come up and around. And I'm going to stop with my needle down. I'm going to, whoops, take this template off. Now I'm going to take, and I'm going to use number 62 and 63. Remember, number 62 and number 63 were the same. Oh, no, no, no. Sorry, I got the wrong number there. Okay. Because I've been using number 66. Okay. Yeah, we're going to use number 62 and number 63. So I'm going to put number 62 on first. Who's on second, right? All right, and that is going to go on and number 12. I'm going to line it up towards the edge here and just make one rotation. I kind of took off a little wonky there. The nice thing about that, when you do something a little wonky like that, don't worry about it because as soon as it's washed, you're never going to notice it. All right, I'm going to take my number 62 off and I'm going to put number 63 on. And it is also going to go, no, it's going to go on number 13. Oops, got to close that gate or we're going to have a mess here, guys. And around we're going to go. Now, number 62 and number 63 are the same width. However, number 63 is taller than number 62. Come back down to our bottom. Which is going to be the top of our number 66 template. And we're going to put that on number 8. There we go. And we're going to finish this rotation. There we go. Now, in essence, what we are doing here is we are taking a round design and squaring it off. Okay. Go ahead, we're just going to make this last rotation up here. Stop, needle down. We want to make our adjustment, which is very small this time. And stop. We're going to go ahead and rotate again. Now we are in a corner. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch to the top. Needle down. We're going to take this off. Now I'm going to get out my number 60, 63 first this time, right? And this is going to go on, whoops, pin number 13. It doesn't matter which one you do first or second. And make that complete rotation. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that off. I keep ripping the tape on this one. It doesn't like me. And we're going to put number 62 on, which has a needle channel. Beautiful, beautiful needle channels. And this one goes on number 12. Line it up, do one complete rotation. And you'll see it's going over all of those seams just beautiful. No problem whatsoever. And put number 66 back on, and we'll have one more of these fellas to do after we finish this one off. And this is on number 8. So now we're going to go ahead, use our spacing gauge. We want to make sure that we have it come right back in here. And one more. We'll do one more for you. And that's halfway. Going to stop at the top, needle down, spacing gauge. Oh my gosh, we were so close on that one. And we're going to stop right there. Just because our time is getting short, guys. You know, there's still a lot more that we can do with this particular design. Time just is not our friend on Monday and Tuesday evenings and Wednesday mornings. So if you were so inclined, what you can do is you can come in now and line these guys up and do another connection from here to here. Or again, you could do a connection like this. There's a lot that can be done. We can keep working and building this out as large as we want it. And that's the beauty of the artisan curves. We can just keep building on them. And they're fun to build on. You know, like the cartoon eyes in the center. Oh, I love that. That I hadn't seen until it was mentioned. But another thing I want to mention while we're here and working on this, the contrasting thread. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I'm doing a project like this, I probably would not use a high contrast thread because I have the piecing that I want to be the star of my show. All right. Especially with this one, because for some reason, this project that I've been working on, I've got 6 of these placemats. And by golly, the piecing just turned out really good on them. You ever have that happen where one project you do and it's like, wow, I was on every bit of it and it came out great. When I have a project like that, I'm going to use a thread that blends. You're still going to see the quilting, but the piecing will be the star of the show instead of the quilting being the star of the show. Does that make sense? Well, Barbara's here from Sudbury. Hi, Barbara. Okay, Priscilla likes the fact that I showed how to make slight adjustments. And you know what, Priscilla? We're going to have a lot of projects where we really do need to make adjustments. So it's always good to know how to do that. Dee Dee. Okay, Maureen, I got to back this up a little bit, guys. Um, Dee Dee, good morning. You sent me an email this morning. Okay, I'm going to have to look for it, Dee Dee. Maureen says she's seen a frog. I love it. And Dee Dee says, are we making the adjustments at the highest point? And yes, we are. That is the best way to make them. That way they really won't be noticeable. And Dee Dee is coming into us from Las Vegas, Nevada. I just found out yesterday that our youngest is going to Las Vegas for a training, but he's staying an extra day, I think, so he can take a look at the fun things that Vegas has to offer. Janice said Easter egg with eyes. Yes, it could be, Jan. It's so good. So good. All right. And Linda, yeah, it is a nice design for the log cabin. It really is. It's nice to be able to put the sharp edges and the roundness together. I always like that. Dee Dee thinks it looks like a wild platypus. Oh, you guys slay me. I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. Well, don't forget, like, subscribe, share. Remember that these are recorded and they will be getting out. They will be able to be seen on 906 Quilting Facebook page and YouTube channel, as well as So Stemmy's Facebook page and YouTube channel. And if there's something that you want me to show you, please let me know. I'll be happy to work on obliging you with that. So until we meet again, thank you so much for being here. And let's quilt.